Bruh.
Hi everyone, it's me, Carson.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Allie.
I'm Skinny.
I'm Edward.
Surprised he didn't say hi, I'm Paul Blart. Well, today we're just gonna be like talking about Halloween and scary stuff since it's October.
It's October 3rd to be specific.
Yeah, and that's the spookiest day if you didn't know.
What?
If you like
Is it
it,
the
subscribe.
31st?
And if you like, please subscribe and like check out my merch at mrbeast.com/shop. Anyway, who has the first
I
story?
prefer Fortnite. I like to go. I'm excited for this.
Okay.
Alright, so it
Let's
was a
be
late
real.
night. I once walked outside. I saw the sun. I went back inside.
Oh my god.
Riveting.
So
content.
scary.
Very spooky.
Alright, Allie, would you like to share your story with us?
I will try. Okay, it has to be spooky.
Yes.
Actually,
Spooky, scary.
I'll do my story last.
Okay, I'll go then. Let
I'm
me
gonna cut
think.
that part out.
Ooh,
When
this
you
was
share your story.
the Halloween of 1872.
You are so
Yeah.
you are slow.
I'm trying, okay? Anyway,
Alright.
there was this this guy and he lived in a house. And
Mhm.
Wow.
hey, shush. But
Okay.
anyway, it was dark
Don't
outside.
you listen to
Would-
scary stories?
No, why would I?
Okay.
Okay, he
Edward, shut up.
I'm trying. Okay, he was in his house and it's dark outside, which is kind of weird since it's like 3 in the afternoon. But anyway, that's not really relevant. But he was in his house and he looks out the window and there's this guy. He thinks the guy is weird because he's wearing these weird clothes that are from like 2019. And it was weird because he was just like out there standing on the cobblestone road and he was just like dancing and smiling. It was so weird. And the guy's like, "What the heck? You don't look like you're from this era, man." And the guy didn't reply because he couldn't hear the other guy because that guy was inside and there's a window between them.
Quick question: can you give your characters names?
Oh yeah, I don't. This is the 1800s. People don't have names, Edward.
Yeah,
Oh,
jeez.
my bad.
I don't even have a
We
name.
didn't start getting
I'm
names
just-
until 2019s. 19s. Alright.
Anyway, I'm just gonna call him guy number 1's the guy inside, and guy number 2's the dancing guy.
Number 2's.
The dance.
Twos.
Two's the zoos.
As in
I can't
plural.
English. Yeah. He's
Alright, epic.
yeah. Yeah. Where was I?
Talking
you
about
so sad?
dancing guy.
Dance. Okay. You know what? Someone else go. I don't.
Yeah,
can't.
let's skip you for
This
for
isn't
now.
working.
We'll skip you for now. How
Yeah,
about you
skip
tell us the
me.
story, Edward. Edward,
What?
tell us the story.
Oh, okay, this is a pretty spooky story.
When you're sliding.
One
in
time,
first.
I
Kidding. What?
I was out, chilling out, biking around, and then I see a blue pickup truck, not a couple miles, but a little bit down the road. So I look at it and I say, that's kind of sketchy. So me being a normal person, just walk away.
That's a
So-
joke.
So I keep biking, and then, guess what? It gets
It
so
was
What?
spooky.
Ooh, yeah, so spooky. And I look into the driver's seat, and there's this really old person. Not so suspicious, because, it's an old person. But, it was kind of creepy. So it slams on its brakes, and the old person turns to me and says, "Hey, where's the nearest Burger King?" And this is weird, because it's, out in the middle of the country. So I'm just like, "Oh, it's up there," and they're just like, "No, taking me to it." So I was like, "No." And I backed away.
What'd they do then?
Oh, they followed me.
What?
Oh,
You're not gonna
so he can
elaborate?
do
Oh, sure, I'll elaborate. So
Oh.
they followed me for a good ways. I don't know, maybe a while.
We're gonna
So I was
leave
kind
this
of
whole
creeped
part
out.
Okay.
Shut up, Carson. Okay, I won't talk to them if you're.
No, I
gonna-
want you to. I was
No,
just saying
we
that
wanna
it was
listen
weird that
to
you're gonna leave all that out.
Okay, so yeah, then I see my neighbor has this little trail that goes through his like near his house, but he had problems with it, so he had to cover it up by a fence. But this was before the fence was there. So I see the trail. I just book it in there, book it down the trail and into his backyard, and I like start pounding on his door because these weird people are, looking for a Burger King. So I keep pounding on his door. He comes like in a bathrobe. It's like, hey, what are you doing in my backyard? It's like, and I said, there are these weird people following me. He's like, oh, okay, get inside. Just kind of creepy on it by itself. Just this old guy with a bathrobe on. But he has a wife. I wasn't scared. So
He had a wife or a Wi-Fi?
he had a wife.
Oh, I thought you said he had a Wi-Fi.
Yes, he had a Wi-Fi.
I mean, I hope so.
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I have a story. It's not really scary or anything, but it's just a story about Halloween. So in my neighborhood, there was all the kids were trick-or-treating and stuff. I wasn't there, but my dad told me this story. So apparently, there was this family that had a truck, and then they had a trailer behind hooked up, and they had a full-on campfire going on the trailer. Like, the adults were sitting around the campfire on the trailer, and then after the kids would trick-or-treat at the house, they would just drive to the next one. And I was like,
seriously sketchy.
no, what do you mean that's cool?
Something about that's illegal.
What?
Everything we're saying is
I don't know
illegal.
I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, who's
Okay.
next? I just thought it was cool.
I think it was me.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Give
there's-
us skinny Halloween.
Skinny Hollow. What?
Tell us a story about your Halloween. I said skinny Halloween because it's you. It's
Mm.
Halloween.
I went trick or treating. That's basically it. No, alright, so there was this kid, alright? He was pretty young. And it was late at night.
Oh my! No!
He had this, what? Why don't you want me to tell this?
No, because I feel like
What?
it's gonna be one of your weird stories.
No, it's seriously not. I
Fine,
actually.
tell me.
Alright, so basically, he had this mirror. From time to time, he'd see something in it. He didn't know what.
Him.
It would just be like, it was. And he was laying by his bedside, so he couldn't see himself in the mirror, but he saw something in the mirror. He didn't know what to do. So one night, he was just in bed, just about to fall asleep when he saw something in the corner of his eye. He didn't know what, so he went to just go investigate. For one, seeing that he usually ignored it, but this time was different. He was gonna see what it was. When he walked over, he heard something behind him. He looked behind him, nothing was there, alright? He just ignored it, started walking closer to the mirror. He heard that same noise again. It was like footsteps almost. He turned around again. It was gone. When he was at the mirror, he looked inside. Everything looked completely normal. Then he looked a little bit to the right of the mirror. He saw something standing in the back. It was this really dark shadow. It was on his bed, just standing on top of his bed. He looked on top of his bed in real life. It wasn't there. He looked back.
Still in real life. Alright, never mind. Sorry.
He looked back to the mirror. He saw that same thing, only it's standing right next to his shoulder. He looked on his shoulder. It wasn't there. So he just was terrified. So he just hid under the covers.
But wasn't it already on his shoulder? Did he, like,
No,
run?
the monster. No, the monster in the mirror. When he looked in the mirror, the monster was right next to him. Standing right next to him. Alright, so he hid under the covers, and he kept hearing footsteps more and more, and they were getting louder and closer to him. He didn't want to lift up the covers, but something lifted up the covers, and it wasn't him. He looked around. Nothing. It was paranormal, basically. Like, the covers just flew off of him. He saw nothing. He ran over to the mirror to see if there was anything there. There wasn't. So then he turned around behind him, and it was there, the shadow. it wasn't really explained after that what happened, but that was just a little bit of information that we know.
Jeez.
That reminds me of my ex-wife.
Okay.
Oh, well.
That was a spooky story.
I know, that was spooky.
Real spooky. Anyone else got a story? Spooky story?
How about Allie? How she didn't finish her story.
Do you want? You
I'll-
can tell a different story
I'll try again.
or any.
I'm
story.
trying to do like make up something as I go, but that's not been working.
You don't have to make
No.
anything up.
I don't.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just read something off the internet?
No, no.
Then how am I? Huh?
Speaker, look, that story I completely made up as I was going.
Alright,
Like
Good job, Skinny.
I'm gonna do the smiling man story again, but I'm gonna edit it this time.
Ooh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
try.
improved version.
Make your own version.
That was my own version. Anyway, it was I don't even know when the time was, but it was sometime in like the
Oh.
modern times or whatever.
2019.
Good job.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you just
like-
hurt my brain.
2010s or something. Anyway, there was a guy and he lived in a place, and he was in the city and he was just walking, you know, coming back from work or something, and it was late at night. I don't know why he was working so late, but he was. Let's call him Greg. So
Let's call him
Greg.
Dave.
I said Greg.
I know, sorry.
Stupid. Anyway, he was walking down the sidewalk and he felt very, you know, like safe. He wasn't really worried about anything. Everyone in the city was nice. They didn't really have any like
Greg,
bad
be
guys.
careful.
Yeah.
What if something bad's gonna happen?
He's just-
to Greg?
Walking on
Oh,
the street,
Greg's
and all of a
on.
sudden he sees this guy, and he's kind of afraid of this guy because he's just like smiling really wide and dancing. He's like doing this weird dance. And Greg assumes that he's just like drunk or something. And he's like, okay, I'll just like walk around him and leave. So he does that. And then he keeps walking. But when he looks behind him, he sees that the smiling dancing man is following him. He's like dancing towards him.
That's what they call
And
me
so
in
the
high
guy's like, okay, that's kind of weird.
The
What does he
club
want? Money or something? And he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna walk a little faster. So he does. And when he looks behind him again, the dancing man's dancing faster towards him. And he's still smiling, and it's like really, really creepy. So Greg's finally like, okay, you know what? This guy's a weirdo. I'm gonna run. So he starts running at full speed. And the dancing man starts
Dancing
like
at full speed.
Dancing.
dancing at full speed.
I'm
Bruh,
just
I'm just
picturing
imagining,
someone
like-
I'm just picturing someone sprinting doing the Macarena.
Under like tiptoes.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking
Bruh.
of like a really creepy dance of like, no, Billy Bounce, you know, from Fortnite, that dance.
I don't
But,
know.
No, but
No.
with a really creepy face on.
Hmm.
So yeah, the guy starts like dancing at full speed, and Greg's finally like, you know what? I'm gonna like scream and run for my life. So he does that, and he runs into like the nearest shop or whatever, and he barricades the door. And the shop owner's like, "What the heck?" But he's like, "No, there's some weird guy following me, and I'm afraid." So the shop owner's like, "Okay." And the shop owner is kind of like, you know what? I think you're kind of crazy or something. You're gonna rob me. So I'm just gonna like go check and
police.
see if there's someone out there, see if you're lying or something. And he goes and looks, and there's no one there.
Liar.
The end.
So then the police came and took him away for crack. But you know,
Yeah.
Obviously.
you forgot to mention the 10 ounces of heroin he had in his pocket.
The dancing man was in his pocket.
Mhm.
He shrunk.
And now he's dancing in his pocket. Alright. Who has a story? Skinny, it can be made up now. I know the other one was just a non-fiction story about you, but still. Is he still there?
I don't know. His mic's off.
Hello?
That's
Ah!
You're back.
Nah, I just got snack.
Oh.
Did you miss my story?
I'm the snack.
I know the
Wait, what?
ballerina was going really fast.
The speedy ballerina.
That's all I know.
Alright, want me to tell you the story about Mothman?
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah.
We you're sliding in the first thing. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. I don't want to get copyrighted.
You know what?
Anyway.
How about you sing that for us right now?
No. Alright,
Oh.
so I'm gonna tell you the story. Not Mothman, because I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
That is a real
Is it
thing.
real?
Yeah.
You can use it. It's not copyrighted.
Insect attracted to light man. Alright.
Ooh.
Not Mothman, insect attracted
That
to
sounds
light man.
original.
So, I'm gonna call him I'm for short. So I'm. So, there's this town down in Western Pacific Ocean.
What?
Where, Sorry, no. What town should it?
It's West Virginia.
So there's this, yeah. So
Alabama.
there's this town in There's this town in West Virginia. There's this town in West Virginia. Called. Well, it's called Im.
West Virginia.
It's called Im. No.
It's called okay.
It's called East Virginia because it's like in West Virginia, but it's east of it. Anyway, it's like east west. Yeah. Anyway, so in that town, there's a lot of tourists there, right? Because like, there's always been like this legend ever since like people came to this country. I don't know why it's so far back, but
Yeah.
there was this legend about Im. Like, he used to be a normal man until like the rest of his. So he used to live in a cabin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He lived with his wife and
2 sons,
four-
Habo and
No.
Rico.
four kids. They lived a pretty decent life, right? They all like they were happy. They had like they didn't really like go into town much, but they had like all they needed. But one night there was a storm.
Hmm.
Oh, my stomach. There was a storm, and they have a bug zapper outside, and so like all the Ims came there. All the insects that are attracted to light, like, were going there because they're bright, and so that happened. But then the door flew open, and they were all sleeping. It was late at night, and when the door flew open, they didn't know who it was. They had only 4 rooms in their house, so the 2 youngest shared a room, and that was their door that got flung open. And suddenly, the father heard a scream, and he ran into the hallway and into the room, but was tripped by the older brother.
Why
Shut-
was he tripped
don't-
by the older brother?
He's already.
Why was he tripped by the older brother?
I'm getting to that part. And then the older brother looked at him but his eyes were different. Instead of
With pleasure.
instead of like pupils, they were shaped like Ims.
Mm-mm.
Ims. Insects
What
that are
about-
attracted to light.
That's
Stupid.
Alright.
Shut up. I don't feel like there's a right thing. Anyway, so
You can
his
just say Mothman.
no. Shh. No, I can't say that. And then, so they were stuck. So his eyes were like that. And then he opened his mouth, and a bunch of Ims came flying out.
Oh.
And like, he didn't like the father didn't know what to do, so he just got up and ran to his 2 youngest because he still heard the screaming, but it was too late by the time they got there. They both had Im-shaped eyes, and then he was like, "All right, shut up, Edward." So they're like, "We gotta get out of here right now." And so he ran back to his room, like somehow getting past all them, and then got to his wife, and then his wife was still fine. She was still sleeping somehow, and then
Is this man a weep?
so he woke
Sure.
his wife up, and then he was like, "We need to go now." But when she opened her eyes, they were shaped like moths, which is kind of weird. But anyway, then he was like, "No, I gotta get out. I gotta go find some help." So we ran out, but then outside was surrounded with Ims. There was so much because of the storm. They all drew to his house, and they all turned to him and started flying straight at him. and then he didn't know what to do, so he just grabbed his shotgun and started just shooting in the air.
What?
So
That's aggressive.
he had 100 shots, so it shot 100 at a time, but there was like thousands.
100 shots.
Yeah, and he had a 20 magazine, so
Okay.
he kept
On a shot.
Oh my.
so he kept shooting, but they missed every time because he was terrible aim.
Carson, I'm no gun expert, but I'm pretty sure shotguns don't have magazines.
Yeah, they definitely don't.
You're right, you're non-expert. Anyway, who joined?
Oh my. that was Chase.
That got in the way of my story. Anyway,
Jeez,
So-
who joined?
so he just like had a duck and cover through them since he was such terrible aim, and if they got
Duck
too
and
close,
cover.
he took,
Oh
out
my.
took out his hunting knife and just cut them in half.
Okay.
And then, so he ran all the way to town. He couldn't use his car because it was already swarmed with moths. But then by the time he got to town, no one was there. They'd all evacuated because they heard the news. Since they didn't have a TV, they didn't hear the news of "Get out now, I'm invasion."
I'm invasion.
I'm invasion.
Why
She almost
you-
said
why-
moth there.
You can say
Whoa.
moths, Carson. Come on.
No.
It's
There was
moths
an
aren't
invasion,
copyrighted.
Fine.
Okay.
So they didn't have much. So he didn't really know what to do. So, and his family was already gone. So he just kind of gave up. He curled up inside of a gas station.
Inside.
Yeah, inside of a gas station in the corner of the bathroom, just crying, super sad.
Oh well.
Yep.
That usually works for
But then he heard a helicopter say,
me. What?
"Any survivors, we will save you because we know there's some dumb people that didn't leave." And then he was like, "That could be my savior." And then he ran out there, and then he saw the helicopter was made of moths, and
Oh, right.
it was
Oh.
actually
Bum,
his
bum,
wife
bum.
making the announcement. So she saw him jump down, and her wings spread out, and she dived straight at him. He didn't know what to do, so he just
Casual
ran.
Friday.
So he just ran, but but he couldn't get away, and they all got him.
So it's a moth zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I thought they were
And that's-
Ims.
But by the time, since this was in like 1999, it was a long time ago.
I mean, yeah, that is
It's
a
been
long time.
it's been like 20
Quick maths.
just 20 years since then. But all the moths have died since their lifespan are like 2 days. And his wife, his 3 kids had died from the moth thing, like the moth disease that happened. His wife died of natural causes. Not And then-
I know she jumped on the helicopter.
and then it was just him left. But he had since he was transformed by another human, he had infinite life now. So yeah.
Hey.
You can
And
just
then-
say immortal. No.
No. So he he now is living in that shack, being sad of his, whole family being gone. And that's why you don't go into the woods of East Virginia,
East Virginia?
the town.
I thought it was west.
No, this
Said
is
east.
The
This is
state is West Virginia, but the city is East Virginia. Because inside
Oh.
of West Virginia, it's on the east side of it. That's why it's called that.
east of west.
East West Virginia.
Rain.
That's pretty epic.
Northwest East Virginia.
So that was
Wait a
my
minute.
last Halloween. What about you guys?
I've got a story.
I have another story. Everyone can go.
No, we can go.
What?
You
See,
can
we're
go.
all nice here.
Me?
We each give each other turns.
Yeah, you can go.
You go.
Okay. So this happened. My grandma was trying to
I'll
my
beat
grandma.
your dog.
Shut up, Skinny. So my grandma, she lives in this old house, like this old creepy house. And like she's old, she used to be a librarian. So she was just hanging out in her house. And then she hears a voice that goes. And she's like, well, I don't really care since I'm selling this house because she was moving into a duplex. like one of those really fancy ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was moving into this was a couple years ago before I was born. So she hears this voice. It's like, so she's like, I don't know. I don't really care if it's ghosts. I'm old, you know. It's probably just my friends playing a prank on me. So
No, I mean that. I can't say that happened to me, but at the same time, yeah, it's happened.
yeah, it's, when your old people friends are playing a prank on you
When your old people friends, dang.
When you're
bro.
dead friends.
Okay.
I mean, that's
So-
basically.
she sits down for like a nice breakfast, some cakes, cereal, or some cornflakes or Fruit Loops. I don't quite remember what she was eating, but
Fruity
Well, they're
Pebbles.
gonna die anyway, so
a couple,
they're already old.
it was fun. Like nothing happened. The night that the person signed for selling the house, the realtor called her. She had already moved into her new duplex and said, "Hey, this isn't your problem anymore. I just thought you had to know that there was about 100 snakes in your ventilation shaft."
Dude, don't you hate it when that happens?
Like, and the guy just keeps going on about how the new people came in with a ventilation guy, and the guy opened up the shaft, and a bunch of snakes just fell out.
SMH.
Like, I don't know how she heard it, how she didn't hear all the snakes in there.
All right, so we got time
Harry
for about
Potter.
2 or 3 more stories.
Oh, I got one.
All right.
Alright. Once there was this couple, married couple, and they lived in this nice little house, and they had 2 neighbors across from them. They had another couple like them across from them. And so wait, let's call these people
Chuck and Norris.
yeah, Chuck and Norris, and the people
That's
across from them
interesting.
are just what should we name the people across from them?
Bill and
Boss.
No, we need to Greg
Bill and
have
Cosby.
Who?
Greg
Bill and Cosby.
and Manny.
O.J. Simpson.
No.
Uh,
Oh, I have one. Greg? What's your grandma's name? And Heather. And Heather.
Okay, so the people across from them are named Greg and Heather, and they're just like neighbors, they're all friends. And
I
they're
feel like
pretty close.
Greg is a pedophile.
Shush. But anyway,
We feel
Greg
like-
and Heather,
How'd you know?
Greg and Heather tell Chuck and Norris
Yeah.
one day. they tell them that they're
Why are
gonna
you
move
laughing?
away. Why are you not? But the so what
Why
are their
did they have
names
to move
again?
away?
Chuck, Norris, Greg, and Heather.
Okay, so yeah, Greg and Heather are moving, and Chuck and Norris are kind of a little bit mad about it. Like, oh, you guys are the best
Dude.
neighbors, though. You're moving, okay, then bye. And so the neighbors move out, and pretty soon,
That's a pretty
They
sad
get-
goodbye.
pretty
Okay,
soon,
bye.
they get new neighbors. And
What's
these
your
neighbors...
grandma? What's the last words you say to your grandma's? Okay, bye.
Okay,
The last
bye.
block you-
That'd
what
be
if
pretty
the
funny.
last block you place is Soul Sand?
What's the last
Well
block
then.
you place as a friend Anvil?
What if it's a
Anyway.
ruin stand?
I need 2 new names. 2 more.
Bill and Cosby.
No, Floss. One guy's name is Floss Howard.
Jake
And
and Shirley.
Dick and Shirley. Okay.
Jay.
how about
Jake.
O and J? And then they're related in the Simpsons.
I'm just gonna call them Dick and Shirley. I don't. Okay.
I don't have
So,
one of those.
Greg and Heather, they get. Wait, no, was it Greg? No,
Oh my-
not Greg and Heather. I'm sorry, too many people to keep track
Greg
of.
and Heather are moving away.
Greg and Heather are gone. They're long gone. But Chuck and Norris,
Yeah.
they get new neighbors, and these new neighbors are named Dick and Shirley. Dick and Shirley, they seem like nice people. They go over and meet them, and they say hi and stuff. And then when they're done, they go home, and then they
Wow.
sleep on it. And the next day, they look out their
Sleep on
window.
Dick and Shirley.
No.
They look
She
out their
said
window, and they see that Dick and Shirley's house is suddenly the same exact color as their house. They They had like
Mhm.
just remodeled it and given it a different color after Heather and Greg had moved.
Yep.
And now the other house was the same color. So they go over and they're like, "Hey, you guys painted the house." Like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Hey, it's the exact same shade as our house." And they're like, "Yeah, we know that."
That's the
So they're
point.
like, they're like, "Okay then." So they go back to their house, and they're just enjoying their day. And then they go and look out the window and they see, oh my God, Corey, go away! Go away!
Oh, cord.
Corey,
Of
I
course.
swear, hold on.
While we're taking this time away from our lives because she is wasting our time here, why don't we tell
Alright.
about my new invention?
I'm back.
The Puberty Stomper 3-set. Oh,
Whoa. Oh, I'm gonna continue my story
Hormone
now.
Sorry,
Slayer.
Allie, it's a guy thing.
So, what are their names again?
Greg, Heather,
Almighty.
Chuck, Norris.
Okay.
Dick
So
and
Chuck
Shirley.
and Norris,
Dick and
they
Shirley.
look out their window again, and they see Dick and Shirley are like planting the exact same flowers that they have in the exact same places that they have, except like on their land. And they're kind of like, are
You're
you
not
like?
easy. Can I just say you're not easy to follow? Like, I have no idea where we're at or what's
I know what we're doing.
happening.
Yeah,
I barely have an idea.
You're
Maybe
just
you're just
slow,
not good.
skinny.
I'm alright. I'm not paying attention. The story isn't.
Do you want me to talk slower?
No,
No,
please.
this is the
Please
whole
just
point.
tell her.
Yeah,
Just
it's
tell her.
October. It's supposed to be
Just
scary.
She
tell
doesn't have to know.
Okay. Oh. But anyway, so they're kind of like, okay, are you like copying our house vibe? But they don't say anything, so they're just like, okay then. So this is a few months later. They've been neighbors for a while, and it seems like Dick and Shirley are kind of like copying everything they do,
Yeah.
and it's kind of weird. They're kind of like weirded out a bit, and they don't really like each other.
Oh,
Or
I've
at
heard
least-
this one.
Chuck and Norris don't like Dick and Shirley.
I know
But
the
anyway, the last straw is when Chuck and Norris, they have a baby. They have it like
What?
sometime in
answer.
April.
Chuck and Norris. Who's the guy? Who's the girl? Or are they
Norris.
adopting?
Is Norris the girl?
Are they
They're the same
adopting a
gender.
child?
No, they're actually having. I don't know who's who. Chuck is the girl.
Okay.
When do you think Norris is more of a girl's name than Chuck?
You could
Yeah.
choose
No.
Norris,
But they actually have a baby. Chuck has a baby.
What'd they call the baby?
And
Can I pick a name for it this time?
Yeah, sure.
Wong Tong.
they have a kid and they name it one time. But anyway,
How about Greg Jr.?
No, Wonton.
Wonton. Okay.
Wonton.
Hey.
Kicking Skinny from the call.
I'm actually leader
So-
of this group.
They have
Oh.
a child and they name it Wonton, and they're like super happy about it. They're really
Yeah,
proud of it.
Wonton!
They introduce it to everyone around their neighborhood, and they go and they
Hey, yo, bro, you heard of Wonton?
they go to Dick and Shirley's house, and they're like, "Hey, we just had a baby. Come look at it." And they show it to the.
So how long ago did they have the baby?
Oh, they like just had it, and they're back from the hospital.
They
Like-
literally
They had
just
it that
gave birth.
morning And just walked into their neighbor's house and said, "Hey, we had a child."
Yeah, that's how it works.
What's up, bro? I
That's
just
what
gave
you
birth.
do, man.
That's pretty chill.
So anyway, they go and like show the baby to them. And they're like, "Yeah, we had a child. We're just so proud of it."
You
and
want to
then-
touch it?
And then Dick would.
I literally can't take it seriously. When there's a child around, it's just
Skinny
too
out.
much.
Kick
It's just
Skinny
too.
out.
It's just too much when there's a child around.
Let
What
me
is Dick
continue.
with?
Alright, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching.
No.
Wait, I'm not
No.
finished.
Yeah,
And we still
have to do-
ending it.
No,
Okay, I'll
no. We also have to tell ours. Me and Carson have to have a
I'll be
second.
quick. I'll be
No.
quick.
I don't want a second
Anyway.
story, and you don't get one. You
Dick-
lost privilege.
Dick Dick is the wife.
Skinny, shut up!
Shush. Dick is the wife to Shirley.
Yeah.
And what?
Alright, I'm gonna mute myself.
Please.
Yeah, do that.
Alright, tell us.
Anyway, they're like,
Thank
"Oh,
you
well,
guys
guess
so much.
what?" And then Dick goes into a room that they've never seen before, and he comes back out, and he pulls out a baby that looks exactly.
What? So you just walk into a room and
Mute
whip out a
yourself.
child? You just are like, it's just so random.
Yeah, and the child looks exactly the same as Wonton. And okay, Chuck and Norris are like creeped out even more so. And they're like, "Oh, you have a kid too that looks exactly like our kid." And they're like, "Yeah, we named it Wonton." And then Chuck and Norris are like, "That's really weird because that's our kid's name and we didn't even tell you that." So they're like, "You know what? You guys are just too creepy for us. We're gonna move." And so they move, and they actually move right next to the spot where Greg and Heather moved.
Greg!
And when they go to say hi to Greg and Heather again, they haven't seen them in like a while. They go to say hi, and Greg and Heather are like shook. They're like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing here? Why are you here? We moved for a reason, you know?" And they're like, "Wait, why? Do you like not like us or something?" And they're like, "Well, you copy everything we do. Your house was the same colors as ours before we moved.
Why is this interesting?
Riley,
What-
that's a
what do you-
plot hole.
You're a
They-
plot hole.
Okay.
Alright, keep telling.
Your house was the same color as ours. You had flowers identical to ours before we like tore ours up and stuff. You legit copied everything
No,
we did."
I will end you.
And then they all realized that life is pointless and we're all gonna die anyway. The end.
Okay.
That was
Allie,
pretty
okay.
cool. Can you
I will
elaborate
reach-
on that?
Can I retell your story?
Alright,
Allie?
I'm ending the. Okay, I'm ending
No,
it
you
now.
are not. Can I
Alright.
finish this?
I
No,
wanna-
I'm
They
gonna
say our
finish this.
goodbyes.
Yep, everyone say your goodbyes.
All right then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Alright,
Sub to Im Skinnyz.
Sub
Okay,
to
Alec,
Carson
I'm gonna-
Cobra. Okay, bye.
I'm Chris